So we're going to begin today's class in easy pose. So seated with your legs crossed. You're going to place your hands on your knees. Bring those shoulders down away from your ears. Tongue off the roof of your mouth. And we're going to focus on our breathing. This breathing is going to set the tone for the whole class. Focus on your breath. If you find yourself holding your breath, that may mean you need to modify your poses. You should never be holding your breath. So we're going to do some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. And as I had said, we're going to focus on that all throughout class. So if you find yourself losing balance, come back to the breath. Focus on your breath. This should help you with a lot. So first we're just going to start with a seated upward salute. So inhale, arms raised up above your head. Look through those hands, palms are facing each other. Exhale, bring the palms together and down to heart center. Inhale, arms up above the head. Look through those hands. Exhale, palms together, hands down to heart center. So first we're going to bring that right hand out beside you, and the left hand goes up over your head, fingers spread wide. So you feel that nice stretch inside your body. I'm going to hold this for a few breaths. Now we're going to plant that left hand, fingers facing the side of the room. Right hand lifts up and over your head towards the side of the room. Fingers spread wide. Once again, feel that deep stretch. Now we're going to bring that right hand. Now this time it's going to go back behind the body. And we're going to bring our left hand to our right knee. Then you're going to pull with that left hand and look up, opening up that chest, getting a nice stretch through the collarbone, chest area. And now the other side, plant that left hand behind you. Right hand goes to the left knee, pulling up on it just a little, open up that chest. Now when you're in a pose, such as easy pose, the best way to figure out if you're sitting on your sits bone and utilizing them correctly, a good cue I like to use is happy dog, sad dog. So sad dog, their tails go between their legs. They have a tilted, curved tailbone. We want to be happy dog. So straight back, sitting on those sits bones, good posture, straight all the way through, core is activated. So now we're going to plant these hands in front of us, and we're going to push back onto all fours. We're going to begin with cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, lift our chest and chin, forehead is facing the front of the room. You have a nice curve in the spine. Exhale, forehead starts to move towards your thighs. Belly raises up. It's almost like someone's pulling a string up to the top of the room. We're going to do this twice through. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to tuck those toes under, and we're going to push back into down dog. We're going to pedal it out here. While you're in down dog, you should make sure that the majority of your weight is on the inside of your hands. So most of the weight should be pushing on your thumb or your pointer finger. You don't want all that weight on the outside of your hands. that's when you're going to start to experience wrist problems. The top of your arm should be pulling away from each other, and the bottom of your arms feel like they should be pulling towards each other. Now in down dog, we're just going to drop to our knees. Tuck those feet underneath so that the tops of your feet are on the mat again. And we're going to slowly push through a modified chaturanga. So you're going to keep your elbows in towards your body when you're going down. You don't want them to go out. So we're going to slowly lower down all the way to the ground. We're going to release those legs, flatten them out, lift up into baby cobra. So your hands are planted on either side of your chest. You're going to lift just your chest off the ground ever so slightly. Forehead's facing the front of the room. On the exhale, lower down, forehead onto the mat. Inhale, press up. Exhale down. Inhale, plant those hands and push back up onto all fours, tabletop position. Your hips and your knees should be in a direct line, as well as your wrists, elbows, and shoulders should all be in line. You're going to push back into down dog again. Pedal it out. Get those calves and hamstrings stretched out. We're going to step the left foot through into a low lunge. So your left foot steps through right towards your left hand. You drop your right knee, and the right top of your foot is on the mat. On the inhale, we're going to sweep our hands up overhead, just like upward salute. Palms facing each other, fingers spread nice and wide. And we're going to breathe into this. Your toe should be flexing on the front foot for some traction. And you're going to feel a deep stretch in your right hip flexor. Breathe through it. It should be a little uncomfortable, but never pain. You need to make sure on this front foot, your knee is not going over your ankle. That's when you're going to start to feel uncomfortable. So a couple deep breaths here. We're going to plant the hands. Step our foot through, our right foot through to meet the left foot. And we're going to end up right in a forward fold. Now this is the correct way to do a forward fold if you have tight hamstrings or tight calves. Instead of forcing it and putting your body like this, you want your stomach to be touching your thighs. So just keep that slight bend in the knees and keep your hands planted for balance. Then we're going to do a halfway lift. So what you're going to do is place your hands on your shins or on your ankles, and we're going to slowly roll those hands up your legs. Keeping a slight bend in your knees if you need to. If not, you can lock them out. You want your body to be at a 90-degree angle. So somebody could place a tray on your back with drinks and you wouldn't spill it. That's the best way to describe a halfway lift. So then we're going to go back down into our forward fold. Bring the stomach to the thighs. Plant the hands. We're going to step back into plank. Drop the knees. We're going to modify chaturanga. So keep those elbows close to the body. Lower all the way down. Baby cobra. Exhale. Baby cobra. Push back onto all fours. Checking that alignment. Now we're going to push back into down dog. Tuck those toes. Push it back. And now your right foot steps through into a low lunge. Check your alignment. Once you feel you've maintained your balance, sweep those hands up. And a couple deep breaths as you feel that hip flexor loosening. Now plant those hands in front of you. toes. We're going to do a forward fold, halfway lift, arms skimming the shins all the way up to right below your knees, 90-degree angle. Now the one mistake you see a lot with halfway lift is people trying to look at the front of the room, and then you get a unhealthy arch in the back of your spine. So when you're doing a halfway lift, try and keep your gaze at the front of your mat. Take a couple deep breaths here, feeling your body and your muscles loosen. So now we're going to place our hands, step back into a plank. We'll do a modified chaturanga one more time. Hands close to the body. Lower all the way down. Baby cobra. Push back onto all fours and up into down dog. Now we're going to step our left foot through in between our hands. Your right foot turns to face the side of the room. You want your front left heel to align with the middle of your back foot. You're going to step up into warrior two. Hands horizontally. So now we're going to turn this front leg. The left foot, we're going to turn it towards the side of the room to match the right foot. Our big toes are going to point just ever so slightly in. Now what we're going to do is if you need to, you most likely have two blocks here. And we're going to lower into a wide stance, side bend. And you're just going to let your head hang and walk those hands backwards as far as you can. You want the weight towards the front of your feet, but you also want to maintain balance. So keep the blocks in front of you and your hands on the block if you have any issues with balance. It's just a good way to stretch those inner hamstrings, calves. Okay, now we're going to walk our hands back to the front of the mat. Drop down onto our knees. We're going to chaturanga it through and do the same thing on the other side. So slowly lower down. Baby cobra. Push back onto all fours. Push back into down dog. Step the right foot through in between your hands. Your left foot turns to face the side of the room. Make sure that your front heel is in between, lining up with the middle part of your back foot. Lift up into warrior two. Okay, now we're going to turn our front foot, the right foot, to match the left foot, toes slightly inward. Hands will go down to blocks or the ground if you feel you can handle that. And walk the hands slightly backward, keeping the weight on the front of the feet. Plant your hands, drop down to your knees. Get into crisscross applesauce. And back to where we started at easy pose. We're going to roll onto our backs. And we're going to do easy four pose. So your right foot crosses over your left knee. You're going to interlace your hands behind your left knee, and you're going to pull ever so slightly. Once again, this is a great stretch for the hip flexors and the hips. If you practice stretches like this every day, it'll help with that, your flexibility and feeling tight during classes. Now we're going to switch, keeping the right leg at a 90-degree angle. Bring the left ankle goes over the right knee. We're going to interlace our hands behind the right knee.